It might be 22,000 square feet, but it sure doesn't feel like that when you walk in. It's warm, it's inviting. Most people driving down the streets of Spokane used to seeing fire trucks like this one, but instead they're going to be seeing some new apparatuses. These healthcare workers trying to make a bold statement here tonight. They're outside of Deaconess Hospital. I know you were down a little bit in the primaries against Todd Melke. How are you feeling tonight? We put a little bit of water in this clear glass just to see what would happen. We put it outside for a little bit, and look at that. It is frozen. Things changing as we take a look at our Doppler radar map as we see some isolated showers moving through the region. The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champs. They dominated the game from start to finish, beating the Denver Broncos by 35 points. They had to run to get this seat. We are right by the stage, the very first row. We got our blankets out. And with all these people biking to work, I thought I should join in on the fun. So it's off to KXLY I go. I go big or I go home.
Napkins.
And here we go.
With our stuff.
A South Hill couple got quite the surprise on their doorstep this weekend. They woke up to find a man trying to break into their home, but that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Once we saw the image, we were like, OMG. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Diane and Todd LaValle didn't spend their Sunday morning reading the paper and relaxing in their home. Instead, they woke up to this.
It was 6:41 in the morning, Sunday, and the dog was barking like crazy.
Someone was trying to get in their home. The man took off, though, and the LaValles didn't get a good glimpse of him. But when they went back through their security camera, they saw a lot more of him than they expected.
We were just shocked when we first saw the image. I mean, it was shocking that there was actually someone there with the pants down around their ankles.
You could call it a pantless Sunday morning delivery. The pictures now got everyone talking.
Everyone that has seen it goes, "This is not real, is it?" And it's like, yes, that's a real shot from Sunday morning at 6:42.
We wouldn't make this stuff up.
Todd laced up his running shoes that morning. The snow was fresh from the night before, so we started following the man's tracks to see where else he'd been.
Basically, he just was doing a zigzag through the whole neighborhood, all the way down toward Manitou.
Todd said the man must have approached at least 20 homes.
I still can't wrap my head around it. It just makes no sense.
It's creepy because it's not every day you wake up to this Sunday morning surprise. Thankfully, the LaValle's home was locked and the camera was in the right spot, or maybe the wrong spot, if you know what I mean. The suspect is described as a white man in his 20s, about 5'8" and thin-built. He was last seen wearing a two-tone jacket and dark pants. If you've seen him or know anything, you're urged to contact police. In the newsroom tonight, I'm Kylee Cruz, KXLY4 News. Dan Curran is a loving husband and dad to two beautiful young girls. He's fighting a disease with no known cure, one that slowly destroys his body. But Dan is not waiting for the disease to kill him. He's living every day to the fullest.
Come jump on Daddy.
It's the little moments in life
Ready?
that Dan Curran cherishes.
Oh my goodness.
Priceless memories with his wife Deborah and daughters Leah and Emma. It's times like these he wish could last forever.
It was devastating. It was our worst fears come to life.
About a year ago, Dan started noticing tremors in his legs.
It was strange that all of a sudden my legs would just start shaking. It started out minor here and there.
But then it got worse. Dan went to the doctor to find out what was wrong. The diagnosis, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease.
We knew there was something neurological, and ALS was worst case scenario.
He was diagnosed with ALS just last month. At 28 years old, he never thought he'd have issues with balance and simple things like grabbing and holding on to something.
And it's difficult because I can't go on walks and I can't run around the park with them.
ALS might someday take his speech and movement, but it won't take his fight. You see, Dan is used to a tough battle. He served in Iraq for 15 months as a combat medic. He thought the worst was behind him, but he's ready for his biggest battle and his new enemy.
I've been a fighter my whole life. I fought in the military. I've been through some scary stuff, and this is just another road bump.
He's focused on living in the moment. Dan's dream is to take his family to Disney World.
With this time crunch, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to walk. So now the goal is we want to get there as soon as we can.
Dan is forging ahead, a warrior who's been to battle before, ready to fight again.
Come jump, save me.
This time with his family by his side.
I'm not giving up. It's not a death sentence for me.
The students here are crazy about the Seahawks. They're bleeding blue and green, many of them coming to school every day this week wearing Seahawks jerseys and t-shirts. But at lunchtime, I learned that's when things get pretty wild here inside Wilson. The 12th man in 382 pint-sized forms at Wilson Elementary. Can you hear us, NYC?
Yeah, it gets really loud here. There's a lot of blue out there.
But this week, Wilson Elementary is now known as Russell Wilson Elementary.
It's named after a president, and also it's named after my favorite players.
The energy, the excitement, the rowdiness, Hawks gear from head to toe. The kids at Wilson are giving the CenturyLink crowd a run for their money.
Today, this is the loudest elementary school.
Sandwiches in hand, screams at the top of their little lungs. They're hyped up on the Hawks. In the lunchtime mix, there are still a few brave Bronco fans. But it seems most of their friends don't really approve.
Peyton Manning, we're coming after you. We're gonna beat you.
It's just a fun little lunchtime rivalry. But the real fun comes when the school chants an old Fish song, appropriately titled Wilson.
So we're gonna do the Russell Wilson chant.
Now this makes most people's lunches look awfully boring. These kiddos are wound up on Wilson and won't wind down. Gotta love that. So much fun inside that cafeteria today. Now, if the Hawks win, principal says they will keep the name Russell Wilson Elementary all next week. So a big Go Hawks tonight from the South Hill. Reporting live, I'm Kylee Cruz, KXLY 4 News.
Hey, and nothing like a TV camera to help rile them up too, huh, Kylie?
Yes,
Great.
that definitely helped.